Hey everyone, this is Victor from Cyborg for Life, and I want to welcome you to episode 74 of Limb Lengthening Live, where the patients get to interview the guests. And today we are doing it again, a really requested roundtable of cosmetic limb lengthening patients. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce everybody here. So from the top left is me. Then in the middle, we have JP. We have Brett. Then in the bottom left, we have IHJ.
Hi, everyone.
Hydrotherapy. And then finally, Bob, the circus boy Hunt. And we have a few other people here also. We have the real deal, Real. What's up, Real?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
He's back. So we had a few other people that I invited, but they just couldn't make it because of last minute arrangements and whatnot. I apologize for being late. I was in an appointment and it was running a little bit late, but we are here now and we're going to do this stature lengthening roundtable. So let's go ahead and get this party started. Let me just make sure nobody else is in the backstage part. All right, guys, I wanted to bring everybody on today to talk about stature lengthening. And, you know, each of you guys came on the show before individually. I think we've had a few people come on in groups in the past. But today we're going to do it big. We're going to have all you guys kind of share your experiences on different topics about stature lengthening for people who are watching, prospective patients and whatnot. So I want to start with JP, the superstar who is now a movie star, should I say, because if you don't know, there was a Canadian documentary that just dropped on stature lengthening. JP, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, they W5, it's a show on CTV. They dropped a story on limb lengthening. So they came here. They filmed me doing a couple of things. They also went to see Victor, and we basically talked about limb lengthening. They went to see Dr. G as well. And it's a nice story. You should watch it. It's 20 minutes long. It's quick. It's gonna give you maybe a better idea of what it is and you know what to expect.
Absolutely, I think it was well done.
How do we find it?
Yeah, I actually put it into the chat right now in the YouTube chat. So there it is right there. Let me just press send. It should be going over. Yeah, I think it was well done. I think that the approach that they took, the perspective that they focused on was really good. It was very professionally done. So I put it in the chat there. The Canadian documentary, it was from CTV W5, and it was well done. So check that out. All right, so I want to go around and kind of talk about each of you guys' experience because we have a lot of new prospective patients who are watching the channel. I've gotten a lot of messages in the last couple days. In fact, I guess the documentary has unleashed the rabbit hole. So here we go. So JP, can you tell everybody when your surgery was and which bone segments you lengthened?
Okay, so my surgery was August 1st, and I lengthened the femurs with Dr. Mary Gdalovich in Montreal.
Awesome. Brett, we're going to go to you, man. So when was your surgery? Which bones did you lengthen?
Okay, I did 2 surgeries. First was for my tibia, second for my femurs. My tibia surgery was September 29th, and my femur surgery was October 20th.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, Brett is actually a quadrilateral patient. He did both segments. IHJ, when was your surgery and what bones did you lengthen?
My surgery date was on May 2022, and I did femur lengthening.
Femur lengthening. Height Journey, the original Height Journey.
Yes. I'm also a quadrilateral patient, but I did mine a year apart. So in 2021, I lengthened my femurs. And then in the last, that was July 14th, 2022, I did my tibia lengthening.
That's crazy.
They were both with the precise 2 nails. And I finished lengthening in mid-September, and I'm pretty much back to normal now.
Gotcha. Now we have a return favorite to the show. He's been long awaited. He's been participating in the last couple of months here in the chat. We have Bob, the circus boy Hunt. Welcome back.
Hey.
Oh man, it's been a long time. I think you came on literally like a year ago. It's been a whole year since I talked to you. Great to
I remember seeing you on the show before getting my surgery, and I listened to it. I remember you because I remember watching everything you said, and maybe it helped me, make things clearer before surgery.
All right, that's good to hear. Well, I got mine done. The initial one was December 2021, and then a year later, 2 months ago, and this is femoral. I got 2 inches off of that, And then a year later, I did it again on my femurs where I got the last inch. So I got the full 3 inches off my femurs.
Wow.
And that was off of Dr. D in Las Vegas.
That's crazy. You did not tell me about this.
I know, this is the first time. Well, he said that if you wait over a year, you can't go back in. And
Yeah.
I'm like, the price was drastically reduced. It was only 10,000. I know that's still a lot of money, but I'm going, well, I don't have to do the $100,000 one on the tibs and fibs.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you call that a quadra lengthening or not, but I got 4,
That's
done.
crazy, man. You did it. You went back and got your full 3 inches of height. That's
3 inches,
incredible.
and
I was wondering because I looked at the picture you sent and I was like, you look taller than you should be. if
Yeah,
you only did
yeah.
The 6 centimeters. So you
Yeah.
played the game. I love it, man. Okay, great. And then we have the real deal, Rial from Canada. What's up, man?
Hey guys, how you doing?
So Rial was here a few weeks ago. We know him as the Brute from up north. He is here because he wants to. Rial, you want to tell us when your surgery was and which limbs you got lengthened?
So that was January 16th. I ended up getting my femurs done, and yeah, both femurs, and I'll probably end up going back in a year from now and get another tibias and femurs again if I can, because I just heard it again here. You got another inch out of his femur, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go hit. I always say I lived 50 years of my life under the average height. I'm gonna live the next 50 above the average height. I'll be with GP up there on that same sign.
Right. That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I want to talk about. I mean, this is stature lengthening. Everybody knows that they're here to hear about height, like starting height. What your height is now. So I want to start with you, Rial. So what was your starting height, and you're currently lengthening now? What is your height at right now?
I'm at. I'd have to look again there, but I started I was like 5'4" and 5'8", 5'5". Like I was under 5'5", and right now I'm 5. Like let me see, just a little bit over 5'6".
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just a little bit over 5'6" right now.
Awesome. Bob, so this is, I don't even know what your height is now because I know that you lengthened, you were about 5'6", I think, starting.
Yeah, I was between 5'6", 5'7",
okay.
And then since I got the 3 inches, so I'm 3 inches on top of that, and so I'm between 5'10" and 5'11".
Wow.
And but man, I tell you, Victor, I can't get it out of my head. I still feel like a little guy.
Really?
Yeah, my brain well, I'm 59 years old, and so I'm like, I got the first one done when I was 58. I got 58 millimeters out of that, and so, but my brain is going, no, you're not 5'10" or 11. No, you're not.
It doesn't believe you yet. It hasn't sunken in fully. That's crazy, man. I can't believe it. So you're 5'10", 5'11". You're taller than me. You're as tall as HJ here. HJ, what was your starting height before your first surgery, after your first surgery, and then after your second surgery?
Okay, so my starting height was a little under 5'7". I sometimes say 5'6.5" or 5'7". I usually pass as 5'7" because I wake up in the morning, I was like 5'7". Then for the day, I kind of shrink to like 5'6.5". But I maybe like 5'6 3/4 of an inch. Then after I looked at my femurs for 7 centimeters, that brought me to 5'9.5". Then I did the tibias several months ago, last July, because it was also for a tibial torsion correction, and so I got a kind of a partial discount there because I'm partially covered under health insurance. So I went like another 1.5 inches, or I think it was 3.7 centimeters, and now I'm 5'11".
5'11". That's crazy, man. You guys are all the height that I want to be is 5'11". So Bob the Circus Boy and HJ. All right. Okay. Next up, IHJ. So IHJ, where did you start before your lengthening journey, and what height are you at right now?
Sure. Before that, I would request you to refer High Journey as Side Journey because I was about to
I'll do
answer him.
IJ.
So,
You stole his name. You stole his. I'm just kidding.
so I was 5 feet 5.5 inches before the surgery, and then after the surgery with around 3.2 inches or 3.15 inches. So I'm now around 5 feet 8.7 inches, which is close to 9 inches.
That's great. Wait, not 9 centimeters, right? Or is that what you mean?
I mean 5 feet 9 inches, close
Oh,
to
5 feet 9 inches. Oh, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. So 5 foot 9 inches.
So
That's
now I'm
incredible, man.
5.8, sorry, 8.7 inches after the
Okay.
surgery. Yep.
That's really cool, man. So you're pretty much my height right now, but you started way below that. Now,
Right.
now we have Brett up here who did quadrilateral lengthening. So Brett, I know we had you on a few weeks ago, but we're just doing like a refresher. So what was your starting height before surgery number 1? And then what height are you at right now?
Yeah, so I was 5'7", just barely when I started, and apparently it makes a difference. I just recently got to where I'm standing actually really straight and got to measure my height, but I measured myself at almost 5'11", which is way more than the 8 centimeters I would have gotten. So I figured out I did it on carpet, so I then went on hardwood and measured, and it did bring me down to about 5'10" and 3/4, which is still more than I was supposed to get.
Yeah.
So that's about where I am right now.
Okay, so 5'10" and 3/4. I mean, you're pretty much 5'11" with shoes or above that. That's incredible. All right, and now we're gonna go to JP, the superstar. So I kind of know. Spoiler alert: it was in the documentary. But what was your starting height, JP? And then like, what's your height right now for everybody watching?
So I was 5'9", and now I'm 6 feet tall. The thing is, I was maybe a bit shorter than 5'9", because when they measured me the day before surgery, I was 174 centimeters. So that's a little less than 5'9". And at the end of the surgery, when we measured me, it's like 183. So like we did almost 9 centimeters, a bit more with the gap and everything. So like maybe 8.5, 8.4.
Okay, 8.5 or 8.4. Okay, very cool, man. That's incredible. All right, so guys, I want to talk a little bit about the surgery process itself, like your thoughts leading into the surgery, during the lengthening process, and then after you were finished. But I know that some of you are lengthening right now, Rial, so he'll kind of have to like kind of sit back and listen because a lot of you guys are already done lengthening. So, so JP, why don't we start with you? So, before you actually got your legs broken, what was going through your head? Did you have any fears going through your mind, or were you just kind of pretty confident that this was going to be a straightforward process?
Well, I didn't think it was going to be a straightforward process. I knew it was going to be a hard thing, but at the same time, like I wasn't scared because it was more annoying to have this thought in my head of wanting it and not getting it. That was annoying, and I just wanted to get this thought out of my head, so I wasn't scared when doing it. The day I went there, I was very relieved, very happy, very, very relieved. It was finally that day.
Oh, you were very relieved. Yeah, gotcha. I'm sorry. I have my other tab up and I'm trying to download all you guys' content so I can share it in a second. So I'm kind of multitasking, but gotcha. All right, Brett, what about you, man? Before the surgery, before the surgeon starts to, chisel away at your legs, are you nervous or are you just excited? Tell me about that.
Yeah. I was definitely very nervous, but I did research as well, kind of like JP. I knew I was getting into something that's going to be tough and difficult, but I really wanted to do it. So I was nervous and excited at the same time. I've never had any major surgeries. I've never had anything broken. So I was like, this is all going to be very new, but I was excited to do it and ready to do it. And I had kind of all the information in my head of how hard this is going to be to go through. And I'm like, I'm prepared for this. I want to do it. And was ready to pull the trigger. So was all in.
That's incredible. I love it. I love you guys' attitudes. You there's always going to be those nerves there, but you guys are like, hey, look, I have a goal that I want to achieve, and you're not going to let this stop you, this surgery. So, IHJ, man, I know that we had during our connection last time, it was a little spotty because of my piss poor connection here, but today it's solid. So tell us a little bit about your nerves going into the surgery, or were you excited and just like, hey man, break my legs, let's go?
Yeah, when I initially did my research, I was a little skeptical about two things. I was very persistent on getting the surgery. I was not worried about the pain because somehow I was confident that because I basically can't tolerate much pain, so that gave me confidence that I can pass through this. But only thing skeptical about two things was one is I mean, I was worried about this surgery because it's totally new and we don't have a lot of patients in the history. So I was totally worried like how I would be after the surgery. So will I go disabled or will something get wrong? So all that worried me. And second thing is it's a long-term surgery, right? We need to be committed for long-term, probably more than 6 months or even 8 months. We don't know. So I was worried about the care services. So who will be giving the? I mean, as I'm taking alone, so out of my family, not letting anyone know about this, I was mainly worried about the care services. So those two things were bothering me. But finally, when I went into consultation to Paley Institute, then I gained confidence meeting the patients. Of course, I didn't meet anyone who had done the full recovery. Everyone who I saw there was lengthening phase. They were in lengthening phase. But somehow I gained the confidence, and I also got some inputs about the care services. Then finally, I got into surgery.
Gotcha. That's awesome, man. All right, we're going to the height journey himself. HJ, you're a true veteran and a big contributor to the limb lengthening community. I mean, you have a whole YouTube channel, you have a website, which we're going to talk about in a little while. But take us back. Before surgery number one, were you nervous to get your legs broken and to go through the stature lengthening process?
Yes, I could. Yes, I was pretty nervous because that was back in to the March of 2021, my first femur lengthening surgery, and I was supposed to get this dry nose, but they literally recoded a month before my surgery date, so I was kind of a little limbo. So I had to either cancel it or go with a Precise 2. So I went with a Precise 2, and what was worse is I didn't even know how to, because this Stride is full weight bearing, but the Precise nobody really had any documentation or advice on how to do it when you're partial weight bearing, and so I just but I was thinking it's going to be a once in a lifetime experience, so it's not something that's only temporary. It's going to last a lifetime, and what I was going through before, how it was distracting me with the height dysphoria, and also either maybe perceived or even actual cases of height discrimination. I just wanted to get it out of the way and just go through with it. And
yeah, and here you are.
And
I love it.
I thought the gain would be in the end, the end result would be last a lifetime. It's not like going to a chiropractor where you might get a little taller because they straighten out your spine and then a day later it's all gone or something like that. But it's permanent.
This is a permanent investment in yourself. That's right. And nobody who can speak truer to that than Bob the Circus Boy Hunt, because he is one of the older patients here. Doesn't look it. I mean, this guy looks like freaking Wolverine over here, and he's ageless. But tell us a little about your thoughts before your lengthening process.
All right. Well, a buddy of mine who's 6'3", who says that I'm vertically challenged, and he says, 10 years ago, he goes, they got this operation. I go, what? So for 10 years, I thought about this. And when I went to Dr. D out in Vegas, after I woke up, and I don't know how long it took, but there was a nurse in the room, and I was so ecstatic. I didn't even start distracting yet. I just knew that I was about to be taller, and I started crying. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be taller. I'm not gonna be a little guy. And that's how emotional I got over it, because like you said, I'm the older guy. I was 58, and I just couldn't believe that I'm gonna be taller.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's incredible, man. I mean, it's all about having your goal in front of you, and I think that's a very exciting thing. I had a consultation earlier today with a prospective patient, and he was just like, you know what? I know it's going to be painful. I know it's going to be a lot of work. I know I'm not going to walk normally for probably 7 to 8 months, but he said that I want this so bad. I know it's going to make me happy on the inside. and he's like, I'm ready to pull the trigger this April. It's coming up. But I was like, you have the right mindset, to go in through something like this. So Rial, man, I mean, now I think this guy's one of a kind. I mean, you ask him was he scared to do it. He's like, no, let's go, break my legs.
Yeah.
But Rial, you can tell everybody what you were thinking about before your surgery.
Yeah, before surgery, I mean, I had no time to even contemplate this. Like, it was as soon as I found out about it, found the place, book it, and went. I was like, they're like January 16th. I remember them telling me it was the first time I spoke to them. They gave me two dates. There was January 16th and another one. And then when I was like, okay, well, I'll wait till the spring, so it's nicer. Then I call back like, no, give me back my first dates, right? And then they're like, January 16th, what's on the list? I'm like, I remember having a January 16th first time. He's like, is it gone already? Like, did somebody how many bookings you have a week? So like, oh, so sorry, it is available. I said, okay, I want that one. Give me that. Yeah, 3 weeks was done. Boom, boom. Like,
that's crazy,
boom,
man.
man.
He just knocked it out like another little business transaction. This guy's super busy, had lots of businesses, and he's
Yeah,
just like, you know what? Check off.
Took 50 years to even find out about this. Like, I didn't even know this existed. I had no idea this even existed.
Wow.
I looked at everything else in my life, but never thought of growing. That's not even something you think about. It's so weird. But now, I don't think you can stop me now. Be like,
I love the attitude. Okay. All right. So guys, we're going to take a few questions here at a time, and then I want to start to bring on your content as we dive in a little bit deeper about your height, thinking about your height. So let's talk about the lengthening rate, because I think this is important. A lot of patients who are getting lengthening done to get taller, they're distracting at different rates for the femurs or their tibias. So I want to start with you, Rial. What were you lengthening your femurs for? Because most patients, the femurs, they can get anywhere between that 0.75 and 1 millimeter per day. What was your rate?
So we started the first month. It was 1 millimeter a day.
Okay.
Quarter increments, right? 4 times a day. And then at my age, being 50, even though if you have a bone, like the density of the bone is there and everything else, it doesn't. I guess I don't build bones as fast as a 20-year-old. So they slowed me down to 3/4 millimeter a day now for 24 hours.
Gotcha. To 3/4. Gotcha. All right, JP.
Yeah, they slowed me down as well. Same place, same doctor slowed me down as well. Maybe not because you're not making. We don't know. Maybe me should slow me down for another reason, but it was good in the end to slow down because it makes consolidation faster. So.
Yeah, it was my whole idea. I was like, slow me down now. The bone is just more dense. It's building, right? And I spaced out the segments instead of being every 4 hours now. I have a lot more time during my day now. I do one at midnight, 6 a.m., then one after dinner. So the time in between the stretches is a lot more spaced out. So I'll be walking quicker without crutches. That's it. That's all I do.
I love it. Okay. So I just downloaded some more content here on the back end. I got yours, Rial. I got Brett's. I got most people. So Brett, let's talk a little bit about your lengthening rate, because you did your tibias and your femurs, so you can speak for both bone segments.
Yeah. So when I had my tibia surgery, they had me lengthening at I think it was 0.75. And then when I had my femur surgery, they put me at the full 1 millimeter. So I was actually doing 1.75, which I don't know if that was a mistake, because after I started lengthening at that rate, within a week or two, physical therapy just got way too hard in that I couldn't straighten my knee. So that's the problem when you do both segments together. Your knee doesn't want to straighten. It wants to stay bent. So my physical therapist actually, because we could not get my knee to straighten and it was so painful for me, sent to the doctor and we slowed it down. So I slowed down to 0.75 and 0.5 after a couple of weeks of that. And that's what I finished up doing, was 0.75 on the femur and 0.5 on the tibias.
Okay, very cool. So it was all about kind of gauging how your body was tolerating the lengthening process and then backing off. So, okay, very cool. IHJ, how fast were you lengthening? Was it about that 0.75 range too?
No, it was all the way for 1 millimeter per day from
Interesting.
start to the end. As you
Okay.
stated in our earlier interview, everything was going fine except for the tightness and the nerve pain that I developed from 5 centimeter onwards. But towards the end, it was getting more tighter. And one more complication I had, not a complication, I would say, I was about to develop premature consolidation.
No, yeah.
So doctor advised me like either you have to stop or go with 4 millimeter. I asked like doctor if I had reached a premature consolidation. No, not actually, because while lengthening I could hear the click sound. So that's because of the bone. I had a very good regeneration during the lengthening phase.
Mhm.
So that kind of thing I had. So I had to do 4 millimeter. Sorry. Oh yeah, 4 turns per day. I would say 1 millimeter per day till the end. So
Okay.
other than that, complications, if you ask me, like just the general tightness that everyone has, and the nerve pain which developed from 5 centimeter onwards.
Okay, very cool. So it was just kind of like just gauging the same thing with Brett, just kind of testing out it. You had a little nerve irritation. That happens a lot. HJ, height journey. What about you? Because you did, again, with Brett, you did quadrilateral lengthening. Was it different rates for the femur versus the tibia?
Yes, it is, because the tibias are slower to regenerate. So the femurs, I was starting off at 1 millimeter per day. That's a standard for the femurs. 4 times or 1/4 per session, so that's 4 sessions a day. And then maybe around like 5 or 6 centimeters for most people. You tend to slow down to maybe 0.75 millimeter a day. I think I slow down around 5 centimeters, because it's not only muscle tightness and also slower bone consolidation, but also to relieve pressure on your nerves as well, so you get less nerve irritation. And for the tibias, I started off at 0.75 millimeter a day, which is 3 sessions a day. And then around 3 centimeters, then I had to go down to like a 0.50 half a millimeter a day, or 2 sessions.
Wow, that's it. Really, you really slowed down there, almost to a half a millimeter
Yeah.
a day. Yeah,
I
that's
guess
crazy.
the tibias is your like Achilles. It's around your ankles, especially your Achilles tendon and your ankles, and you lose dorsiflexion angles so much after you hit around like 3 millimeters.
Yeah,
And you
that's
get
so true.
that credit ballerina foot.
Yeah,
your
definitely. The
ankle
lower
is-
leg gets much tighter down there.
Yeah.
Bob, so you got 58 millimeters, which was 5.8 centimeters on your first lengthening of the femurs. Were you lengthening at 1 millimeter per day for that? A little slower, and then when you went back, talk about that. That's another lengthening process. Can you guys hear
muted.
Bob?
No, I think you're muted, Bob.
Oh, Bob, I think you're muted. Try it now. Unmute. There you go.
I can't hear you.
We just can't hear you. Try to X out and come back on. I'll just put you back on the screen. We'll, yeah, and then we'll just wait for a second. Yeah, let's try that. Sometimes this software is pretty crappy. Apologize about this, guys. But yeah, I got most of people's content. Some good X-rays and some different videos. Brett sent some in. JP, HJ, IHJ, and Rial has some stuff here too. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna talk about a little bit more in depth, more of a deep rooted question, and this is about did the stature lengthening reduce your hold on, did he come back on? Let's see, I don't see him yet. Reduce your thoughts about your height, and do you feel better now that you are getting it done, or you've gotten it done and you have your new height? So let's start with let me see, he's not back on. Let's start with you, Brett. We'll start with you, go to JP, and then we'll go to IJ and HJ.
Yeah, man, I'm just very excited. Obviously, I haven't started. Well, I have my X-rays this Saturday that should give me the thumbs up to fully weight bear. So it's only a couple days away. So I'm just excited to get that thumbs up from the doctor. I have been trying to practice on crutches a little bit, but obviously I'm scared. I don't want to mess anything up. That was just where I was measuring my height there.
Yeah, this is Brett's height. So it came out to just shy of 71 inches, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible, man. So just like he said, 5'10" and 3/4 or something like that. So Brett, you can continue. I'm just kind of showing some of your content that you put up here.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at right now, though. I'm just unfortunately, I've still been in the wheelchair, for the past 4 months and haven't walked a lot. So I'm just ready to start walking, get on the crutches.
Absolutely. I think that, you will be. And you said your checkup is in 1 week or 2 weeks, you said?
In 2 days is my
2 days.
X-ray, Saturday.
Okay.
So,
Very cool.
and if all goes well, I send my X-ray Saturday to the doctor. So hopefully Monday he'll tell me that I can start walking. So then when I can fully weight bear, so I had never used one of these bucky things before. This is my first time getting to use one.
Yeah, this little cart at the grocery store.
Yeah, I've never used one, so I was like, I wanted to video that I was using one, so that was cool.
That's actually pretty cool. I think that that's a useful little tool that for people who are going long distances at a grocery store. Is that Costco?
Sam's Club.
Sam's Club. Oh, I think they're better.
Yeah. And the other pictures are just my X-rays from the 4th, which the doctor told me that everything looked really good, and I definitely by tomorrow or by Saturday, which is 3 weeks from these X-rays, should be ready to fully weight bear. So if you look at these, you can see some places where the bone is clearly like all back together very well.
Yeah.
And obviously there are some places where it's not, but he said everything was looking really good.
Look at that. That's
So
incredible,
you started around September, right, Brett?
My tibia was the last Thursday of September, and my femur was October 20th, 3 weeks after that.
Okay.
Yeah. See, so it shows you guys right there, based on his X-rays, it just shows you that the femur just heals faster. So if you're thinking about one bone segment to go for, most bang for your buck, the femur will be it. But Brett did both, so but it just shows you that he started his tibias first, and this was 3 weeks ago, Brett, about?
Yeah, this was...
Okay, so if you can see that the consolidation's still coming in, but it's not as robust as the femur. I mean, look at that. There's just more muscle tissue, more nutrients that are just going right to that bone, and he's healing like amazingly. So very cool. Yeah, well, we're excited for you, man. In 2 days, you'll have to let me know. And again, we're going to do more roundtables like this. I think people love it. Very cool. So
I was going to say, I did go to the gym 5 days a week. I mean, for many years before I did this surgery. So the last 4 months, I haven't been to the gym at all. So obviously the first thing I'm going to do when I get the thumbs up to weight bear is start going back to the gym and lifting again, which I haven't done for 4 months. So I know I'm going to be super sore and all of that, but I'm just really looking forward to that, learning to walk again. I haven't walked in 4 months. So just a lot of stuff coming up that I'm excited for, but I know it's going to be tough. So
absolutely, man. Well, we're excited for you. That's awesome. Okay, cool. All right. So the next we're going to go to JP, and I have some of your content, JP. So taking about there. So now that you are 6 foot tall, I know that you're still ambulating a little, cautiously right now because you're not fully healed yet. But now that your height, do you notice this new height, and has it really reduced the thoughts that you have about your stature?
Well, for sure, like I don't think about it anymore because I know I did what I wanted to do and what I had to do in order to get the height I wanted. But at the same time, just to specify, like, because when I stopped using the walker and the crutches, I thought I was walking good. Like my walk was good with the walker and the crutches. But when I stopped using those and I went to only the cane, and then without the cane, it was completely different. Like I walked like a duck, like almost like a little penguin. So I was trying to strengthen the abductors on the side and walk better, but it's slow. It's still weird the way I walk. You can see on this video, that's the way I walk now. You can still see there's
a little bit of a sway, but I mean, how far are you out from your surgery? You had your surgery July what?
No, August 1st.
Oh, August 1st. That's right. August 1st. So you're just about, come March 1st, that will be 3 plus 4 or 5.
7.
Yeah. Okay. So 7 months. So where do you feel, is it weakness, or do you feel like it's just like a different, getting used to your legs?
Definitely weakness because I'm heavy. I think my upper body is heavy. So it's definitely a weakness on the side of my muscles. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, here we go. So this is a little bit of the documentary.
Yeah, if you guys want to watch it, this is a scene of it.
Yeah. So actually, I'll play this real quick. I think it's fantastic. JP did an amazing job. Let me unmute it.
We can't hear it.
Oh, you can't hear it. Oh, okay. It's
Well, you can. It's just you can probably read what it says, but it's just I'm answering a question regarding the reasons as to why people want limb lengthening.
Yeah, and I think you did great, man. So you guys got to definitely check out the Canadian documentary that CTVW5 did. It's in the chat. So if somebody wants to repost it, I know it's probably got bombarded with different chats, but yeah, JP, you did great there, man. This
So
is
that's
more about
that's the other one I wanted to show people.
yeah. This is a little promo reel from the documentary.
Mhm.
It's really cool, man. It's well done. So you guys go check that out. And then look at this. Look at his before and after picture. So this is him standing on the left, his before picture standing next to his surgeon. So JP, you want to explain that?
Okay, so this is before and after. The after pic has my shoes. The before pic doesn't have my shoes, so it gives you an idea. It gives you a good idea of what it is, but you have to bear in mind that the first one doesn't have shoes. So and the second one, the way they took the picture, the guy was taking it from the ground up, so it looks like I'm taller than 6, but with my shoes, I'm really 6'1".
6'1". Okay,
Yeah, with
that's usually what it is.
with the shoes.
That's incredible, man. You look like a giant. That is really cool. Really cool transformation because she's about the same height in both pictures, but you just like grew incredible. That's so
Exactly,
cool. Okay.
exactly. That's the thing. When you look at my shoulder placement to her ears, that's when you see the difference, you know.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I can't help to say, but today I went to my appointment with the Dr. G, and I saw another patient. I saw another patient that I seen before, and he's a quadrilateral patient. Okay, and when he did his femurs, at first I looked at him. I was like, the first time I saw him, he already had done his femurs. Okay, and the second time I saw him after his tibias, I could really see a huge difference. Like the guy is average height now. He's actually the first time I saw him, I thought he was short, and now after his tibias, like there was really a huge difference. So doing both of them, I think, makes a huge difference. You can actually see the difference for
Would you
other
agree
people.
to that, Brett and HJ, real quick? I just want to kind of hop on that. He said that you see a big difference because you guys lengthened one. Well, Brett, you're doing it. You did it kind of simultaneously because it might be harder for you to answer this, but like, and you're
But
still in
the guy did femurs 8 centimeters and tibias probably the max too. You know, he probably maxed out both of them. So
did he do? How far apart did he do them?
He did femurs like from what I understand, he did femurs about a month before me. Okay. So that's like June or July, and he did tibias like beginning of the winter, after Christmas. Because last time I saw him, he told me he was going to do his tibias next time, so probably like did it during the winter. But that's one thing, because Mary, when the way she does it, she starts with the femurs, then she does the tibias.
Interesting.
But other people, they start with tibias, they do femurs after. It varies, you know.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting because I've heard that, doing tibias first, but I guess if you give it enough time in between and the person's tissues are, lengthened enough, that's crazy. Okay, so let me just check if Bob, because I see him keep popping on here and his thing keeps kicking him off. He's probably like said, screw it. Because I actually was going to go to him next and then we'll go to HJ because I don't want to hold him up in terms of where his thing is. But all right, let's go on to the next person. Let me stop sharing here and just see what we got. All right, so we are going to, let's see, we did Brett, JP. IHJ brought some interesting content with him. So IHJ, first of all, answer the question about your height before surgery to your height now. Did it kind of like help you to stop thinking about, wanting to get taller?
Honestly speaking, the height that I'm now, it's not my true actual goals, because my initial goal was to get to 5'10". So actually, I went to Paley Institute with their plan. Like, I wanted to do both segments at the same time. But then Dr. Paley suggested me to do femur first, and then after I probably I can take tibia. So, but still, I'm mentally satisfied, of course, because 3 inches is, I mean, more than 3 inches, right? It's a big gain. I'm satisfied, but when you ask me if that's my goal, no, that's not my goal. 5'10" is my actual goal.
Okay, so 5'10" is your. Let me just see.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. I was just about to ask you to make sure I hear you before I
Yeah.
lose you again. It's been bopping you on and off. There you are for a second. Is your camera on or is it not going to work? Or
I don't know, but you know what? I'm kind of ugly, so.
you hear him, Rial? What is he saying?
I sent you some photos. Just put those up.
I'm gonna put them up. So let's do that now before you get kicked off again.
Yeah.
IHJ, we're gonna talk about the resources that you talked about towards the end because that's gonna be more beneficial for that. Because we want to focus on the content of like the before and afters, and that's what Bob has here. So let me share. But Bob, while we're on the topic about height before the surgery to height now, has it really reduced your thoughts of being a small guy? I know you said earlier that you still have that feeling inside that you feel like you haven't fully, grown into your new body, but has people noticed your difference in height, and has that changed things in your life?
I tell you what, you think you're going to hide it, you're not going to hide it. People go, oh my God, I've had like a bunch of people tell me, you look taller, and some of them I go, okay, there's my brother on my left, and before the operation we were the same height.
Yeah.
So that 3 inches, I tower over him, even though he can still, kick my butt. He can still beat me up. I'm not about to fight him.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Now there's me. I used to be smaller than Dr. D.
Here we go.
Okay, there I'm on on the left side or right side, whatever on 2021. That was before the operation. I'm shorter than him. Mm-hmm. And then 2 inches after that, 2022. And then I think I sent you another photo. Yeah. You can't tell as much, another inch. Okay, there it is. Yeah.
There it is.
Now I'm 3 inches taller. That's after the operation.
That's crazy.
And you were talking about bone density. With all of my x-rays, he was like, your bone density is great. And
yeah, look at that.
But I stopped, I guess, not because of bone density. It was because of, tendons and ligaments and muscle. It was killing me. So I slowed down. Then I just stopped. And then I go, I'll do it later. And then, like he said, once he said a year later, you got to jump on it. And so I go a year. So I was like, I got to get in the operation room. And so, boom, I got in there, did the inch. And then for 30 days, the first 30 days back in December of 2021, I did 1 millimeter. And then I slowed down, and then stopped.
Okay. Gotcha. So you just kind of gradually, cruised to the finish line as you were lengthening. Very cool, man. Look at that big change. That's incredible. So you're pretty close to 6 foot. Like you said, 5'10" and a half or 5'11" with shoes. Man.
And then driving is weird because you got to pull the chair back. But now you can't reach the steering wheel.
Is that a real? I actually want to kind of dive in on that. Is that a real struggle?
That's a real deal, man. Because your arms are
real deal.
Or you want to get something off the ground, and you're like, your arms aren't long enough.
You need to get the adjustable steering, the one that you can, tilt forward.
Yeah, exactly. But look at that. I mean, like your proportions look fine. Like your hands come to the bottom of your pockets. I think you had long enough arms to start with. And you got the full 3 inches. So this is incredible. I mean, look at that height. That's crazy.
Yeah, even if I had didn't have long arms, I'm a monkey, I guess. And, but even if I didn't, I don't care. People go, what about your proportions? Who cares?
Right. I think Rial said that too. He was just like, I don't care. I just want the height. And he's like, it's not going to look that bad. Nobody can tell. Like if I looked at you in clothes, I was like, I couldn't tell he got stature lengthening done. So
right.
That's incredible. Very cool. Awesome. All right. So let's see who we have next. HJ, Height Journey. So we're going to go to you. I know you sent in a picture. And so I'm just going to show, he only sent one because he's going to be putting out a new video next week, I believe. I'm going to let him talk on that. So HJ, if you can talk about, the thoughts that you had about your height before limb lengthening, and then what's like the everyday thoughts going through your head now? Like, do you even think about height anymore, or are you just kind of contributing to the limb lengthening community?
Yeah.
I'll put it
before
up.
I was.
Just a sec. I'm sorry. Let me just find your picture here. You can go ahead, HJ. Go ahead.
Okay, so
I'm finding the picture right now. Here it is, right here. Sorry.
might be easier if I.
There we go. Got it. Boom.
Okay, so yeah, you see the picture on the left. That was like I was like a little under 5'7", so I was pretty short. It was because even like somebody who's like 5'8", like Dr. Isiag right there, he's even that seemed like pretty towering to me. And you can, and even 5'8" is really not that tall, and that was even towering. So you can have an idea of how I felt like I get overwhelmed when I go to the workplace and see everyone taller than me. And then now like I'm 5'11", I'm like pretty much almost one of the tallest ones now. I'm like the tallest member of my team member of developers, and I guess software engineers aren't really that tall, but the others like I'm like 5'11" is it's a good height. I'm like definitely above average.
Yeah.
And like even like so it made a difference in everything like I see, especially like when I go to compare when I like seen taller women in the past, like were like 5'8" or 5'9", and I see them now. It's a very different perspective as well.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean,
so it just gives an advantage to when I go around. I don't think about height anymore. And even like as a software engineer, like even though height doesn't really matter, like how well you program or code, but the thing is that I'm actually performing better because I don't suffer from some kind of like mild depression of height dysphoria, or I don't think about it. So instead of thinking about height, I'm just like thinking about work now because it doesn't occupy my mind anymore. And I'm actually performing better, actually. I can see like
that's actually what I wanted you to talk about, is that with the thought of height being on your mind all the time, are you able to focus on other things in your life now? And you said yes. I mean, I think most people on the panel could agree to that.
Yeah, because time's a very precious commodity for everybody, no matter how tall you are. But everyone has the same amount of time every week, and like, instead of like thinking about height or feeling down or just lower energy or just less than 100%. Now I feel 100%. Instead of thinking about height, I just focus all my energy on just like thinking ahead of like moving forward and advancing, doing my work and with my life, moving on, and every aspect, like even like shopping for clothes. I don't have to like tailor my pants anymore. They fit the 30-inch inseam minimum length they sell at stores. Every man knows that in the United States.
I think that's the
power. 32 actually, but
that's the power of the surgery, man. It really can
change. It takes time, and I don't focus on it. So instead of focusing on those little things about like, what if I were just taller, I just focus on life now and just moving ahead.
That's so cool. I love it. Okay, cool. All right. And now we're going to go to the real deal. He sent some content in. I might have to, because one of the videos were a little longer, so I'll just show part of that. But Rial, man, I mean, you're currently the only member here on the panel that's currently lengthening. And we're going to talk about another issue that you had a little later. But we're going to, I wanted to kind of like ask you, just the thought of knowing that you're getting taller. You told me several times through messaging that you just feel this is an incredible journey, that that this is a, one attribute of your life that you just wanted to kind of like, just boost it and enhance it, and it's happening. So can you talk a little bit about like where you were before the surgery and then now on this amazing journey to the new Rial?
So yeah, I would say just the other day I was out getting x-rays, and the crutches are adjustable, right? So in the house, and then I have my boots that are an inch thick. So, but I'm now the crutches. I started these crutches. I was 5'5" on the pins. I'm now walk outside. I'm at 5'8". I'm like, how many inches am I growing a day here? It's like, plus I want to walk straight. So you keep the crutches, not tight, but like 2 fingers underneath, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel it. I feel it growing. It's like it's pretty. It's impressive. It's like I'm having a blast with this for sure. I had a little hiccup, but no big deal. But
Right.
no, it's no. The journey to this is amazing, and I know for sure I'm gonna push for more. I'm gonna go back, and I just need stronger cyborg material. In my body.
We need to talk about that. We need to create our own nail, the cyborg nail. Let's go into partnership and do that.
Yeah, I'm a tough individual, and this stuff doesn't last too long in my body, I guess. But yeah.
We're gonna definitely get into that. I think that's gonna be like one of the questions here soon. But like, tell us a little bit about what we're seeing here, Rial. Can you see it on the screen? Is it showing?
Yeah. So right here, I just at my it'd be my second visit, I guess. It's a month in or so.
Okay.
I'm just showing them, what I'm capable of doing. If I have a little bit of pain here and there, I had I forget there what I had, but he's showing me tricks of. But everything's good. Like everything's at 100%. The mobility is good. I had there's one of my front quad that was like a little tight at the top, so we've been working on that on my right leg. So it's the only thing really that's bothering me. Aside, everything is healing there good. And like I say over there, I was easy 5'6" over there already. So yeah,
I just want to specify we have the same physical therapist, me and Rial.
Yes, exactly. No, it's
Very
bad.
good.
I like that place, the doctor, the physio. I recommend that place all day long to anybody, man. They are by far the best, and the true colors or the true company or the true person. When something goes wrong, are they going to be there with you? That's where it matters. When everything goes easy, everybody's the best. But if there's a hiccup, how are these people going to deal with you? How are they going to help you out? That is the key here.
And that's the difference with if you go. Sometimes people go in like to Turkey. I've seen the guy who came on your channel 2 weeks ago or last week, and that's what he was explaining. He was saying the difference. If you get a qualified doctor that has liability, then they're gonna want to help you fix things if there's a problem. But if you go to like Turkey or someplace where they don't necessarily have liability, once they have your money, you're screwed.
Yeah. I agree. Let's actually ask IHJ and Brett about that. So do you guys think that picking your surgeon and having the right team in place is important? Because you guys went to the same camp as well. Brett?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, definitely for me. You can go first.
Oh, sorry, IHJ. I asked you
that's
first. I'm
fine.
sorry.
Okay. Yeah, it's very imperative that you choose the right surgeon. It helps a lot, especially like when there is complication, they know how to fix it. And also even the initial surgery, there are a lot of things even that may go wrong. Especially a lot of times I hear about patients complaining about IT band release and also few other complications, non-union, all those stuffs. So a good surgeon would know better how to handle these things.
Yeah. Brett?
Yeah, I just honestly where I did the surgery with Dr. Paley and Dr. Robbins, I just felt like everything was top notch. Any issues I did have, their physical therapists, I think there were over 30 on staff there to choose from. So what's kind of cool is in the beginning, you get assigned some and you get to try different ones and find ones you like, because some are more harder than others, I guess you could say. For example, one might just get straight into stretching you, another might ease into it, but there's also different personalities, right? So some physical therapists might have a personality you get with better. So that was awesome to have the different options. And as far as the surgery, the surgery is not a joke. I mean, I think my tibia surgery took 3 or 4 hours. So that's a long time to be, going to surgery. Obviously, though, everything went well. So I wouldn't want to put that in the hands of someone that I didn't know had a lot of experience. I believe, I don't want to say the wrong numbers, but I think it was like Dr. Paley has done, is it 10 or 20,000 leg lengthening surgeries since the 90s? It's a very high number. So if you actually watch some of his interviews, he talks about how he has hit some of those low 1% chances of things happening and actually knows how to deal with them, that some surgeons might not have.
That's right.
So yeah, I did have, I won't say the normal things, but going through the experience, I had pain, I had some nerve pain, things like that. And just being able to talk to, there are 2 coordinators there that you can call pretty much at any time and say if you're having issues, and just make sure it's not a true big issue. Like I don't want like my nerve to go bad and not be able to feel my legs or something. If it's something I'm going through. So yeah, just all of that's very important. I'm not going to say everything was perfect. There is a lot to this experience, from the surgery to recovery, everything you're going through, but everything was in place to make me be successful there. I felt like,
I love it. That's
So
awesome.
to
Yeah,
add to his point, yes, not only Dr. Paley, even Robbins was awesome.
Dr. Robbins, he's a big
Yeah,
part of it.
yeah, he was also part of it, and not only that, I mean, as I said, picking a good surgeon plays a major role. Yep.
Absolutely.
yeah.
And then
So
we have,
with my surgery, I actually think Dr. Paley did one leg and Robbins did the other, is what
Exactly. Yeah,
That's what
for
I hear,
most
I
of
hear.
us, yeah, it was like that, yes. And I just want to add one thing. I was getting out of the hotel after my consultation, and Brett was getting in. He was starting with his surgery. when
really?
I was
You
actually
guys
getting
saw
out.
each other. You know each other.
Yes, yeah. I no, not we have not spoken much, but I have seen him once. I met him
Oh, okay.
once.
Brett, do you know who this is?
He saw me
I was.
walking, right?
Well, his camera's not on, so
He saw me
Yeah,
walking. Maybe he barely remembers me.
he doesn't want that, but
I,
like,
I met a lot of people
okay.
down there. There were a lot of people doing this surgery, so I did make a lot of friends and meet a lot of new
You
people
used
from
to have a
all
lot of hair before. I know,
from
right?
from all
Before
over.
surgery. Oh,
Yeah, I did. I cut my hair.
yep,
short.
yep.
Okay. So he's
but
basically Brett's basically saying he doesn't remember you. I'm just kidding. That's his nice way.
No,
I met a lot of people.
there were people from Asia, China, whatever. Then there were people from Europe, like London, then South America. I mean, everywhere was there. And then, of course, all over the United States as well, like New York, California, So there's a lot of people there doing this.
So cool. Let's get the other 2 guys over here on the side. So Height Journey and then Bob, I want to get you guys' thoughts on picking your surgeon and having like a good team in place for this lengthening process. And we'll move on to the other topics I had in here. And I don't want to let this run too long. I know you guys have been waiting for me forever, but yeah, we definitely want to keep going. So HJ and then Bob, you guys want to talk about picking
Go ahead,
the right team?
HJ.
Okay, about picking a surgeon, yes, pick one that's based on experience and safety first. That's the first criteria, and that should be the only criteria, because no amount of price, no discount is worth it if you're going to end up like basically crippled or handicapped for the rest of your life. Even if it was like under $5,000, but you're going to end up in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. That's not going to be worth it, no matter how cheap it is. So safety and experience, make sure they're credible and experienced.
Yeah, not only a wheelchair, but just having a bum leg or not feeling good. But I like I said, I had Dr. D in Las Vegas, and he had Mike as a physical therapist, and he knows what he's doing. He started off slow with me, and then
Did you know that Dr. D in Las Vegas was trained by Dr. G here?
No, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
And Dr. G was trained with Dr. Paley.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
I did know that.
they all come from the same
hierarchy.
The same bunch.
The same family tree.
Yeah, I asked Dr. D, he's shorter than me now, and I said to him, how come you don't get this done? He goes, nobody's as good as me.
No.
He said it nice, as a sarcastically funny.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
You know what? He's a millionaire. He doesn't need to get this done. He's probably got a hot wife, and he's got it going on.
I love this guy, Bob, man.
It's kind of
so
like
great.
and then I got to tell you, Victor. You know, where you can stop lifting weights. We're all very impressed.
Yeah,
Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, how's that bicep of yours doing?
I'm just trying to catch up to Rial over here. Have you guys seen his gym videos? I mean, come on. He's a machine. Awesome. I love it. Okay, cool. All right, let's keep it moving. So let me stop sharing here. All right. So the next topic that I wanted to talk about is do you guys have any like residual? Actually, let's talk before we talk about residual pain. Let's talk complications, and we have Rial to talk a little bit about this. So Rial, you're going to take the spotlight on this one, man. You ready for this? I'm going to put you in the middle, right there. We'll sit it. Okay, Rial. So recently you messaged me. I think it was this week earlier. You want to tell everybody what happened?
Yes. Yeah. My God, that's a good one. So, like I said, I just said earlier, you'll know how good your doctor is and the team is behind you when something happens to you. So it was, I believe it was on Tuesday, probably this week. I was on my table doing my stretches, and I got on the phone with my physio, and it was just because I was telling him I still had pain in the front of my quad. And I'm on the table, I'm doing my stretches, you know, the normal routines and stuff. And then they suggest, I was doing this. I was on my stomach, doing that with the leg behind, pulling it. Mm-hmm. And I had to turn over to my side to do the clam. And you saw it on the table. I did it with him. It was the first time. It's not an exercise I was doing here at all because I didn't need to do it. He was just checking how good my everything was working. But when I turned over, my right leg was hurting a bit. So I put a lot of pressure on my left leg. The left leg had zero pain in there. Like I never had really big pains in my legs. So because my legs were angled, bent, I had to move my hips over because I was too close to the edge of my bed. And when I did that, my knees were bent. All the pressure went on my ankle, and I had my hands down and to lift my bum, and the nail snapped on my left leg. So just all the ratchets are gone in there. I grew 9 clicks in a matter of seconds. So it shot from the inside of my thigh straight down beside my knee, on the inside of the knee, right down to the ankle. And I was like, I told my physio, I'm like, oh shit. I was like, something just happened, you know? But that hip cracks, you know, when you have crackling in the bone. So I was like, maybe it's just because there's pressure, a lot of cracks just happen in one shot, you know? But I was like, you know, I worked in mechanics long enough. I know what a ratchet sounds like and a gear that strips. And I was like, man, this sounds like some gear that's just stripped. Yeah. So I told myself, I'll just take a break. I went and sat down, and I went back to the table 20 minutes later. And I started doing my stretches. I said, I'm going to start at 0 again. So the first one, I start stretching. I mean, no pain, like a little bit of pain inside the leg, nothing more. But when I pulled my knee up towards my chest, my ankle kept turning towards the inside. So my heel was hitting me in the forehead almost. So I was like, fuck, it's either the ligaments are really weak here. There's something wrong, right? So sure enough, I was like, man, there's something here. So I finished my exercise. You know, I go on my back or on my stomach again to pull with the strap, but my leg keeps falling over. I'm like, geez, that's Murphy. I'm like, holy fuck! I said, there's something wrong here. And so then I talked to Dr. Maggie. I called her. She picked up right away. She's like, I was like, Dr. Well, I talked to her when I heard the crack. Mm-hmm. And I said, I don't think it's broken. Like I walk on it. It seems okay, right? It's like, I was like, I have a little bit of pain on the inside, but she's like, okay, well, keep me posted. So then when I went back to my stretches, I'm like, it's definitely ratchet gone in there. Something's gone. So then Dr. Marie is like, okay, Rael, you're in tomorrow. Let's get this x-rayed and let's look at this right away. So next day I was in Montreal, get everything checked. They got me in. I'm getting operated on Wednesday next week. They were going to pull the nail out, get a new one in there. There's a lot of bad news, but a lot of good news at the same time. Precise nail. They're going to warranty my nail. They're going to make it, because you all know it's a costly operation. So, and Dr. Marie obviously is like pretty much doing this, out of her good heart. So I owe her a lot of kitchens and whatever she needs in construction.
Wow.
She's pulling everything she can to get me in there at very minimal cost, to be honest. Like pretty much the cost of a haircut. So I'm very, very happy for that. So now I stopped lengthening for a week, like just this week. I get operated next week. I'll be another week without lengthening, and then we kick it back in gear, and away we go. But I'm still stretching. I'm still doing my stuff. I'm very careful because the leg just twists over, right? So, but there's no pain. I mean, I can walk in it, zero pain. Obviously, I can't go up the stairs because when you put your leg up, I got no stability. It will flop over. So I can't go up the stairs. I got to go up. Like I went today. I went up on my ass, up and down.
So what was it on the X-ray that you guys saw? Was it completely snapped or just the insides of it?
Just the gears. Just the gears.
Okay.
So I can put full weight on it. It's not a problem. Full weight's not the issue.
But it won't work. It won't work.
No, it doesn't extend anymore. It's there's no gears left, right? Yeah. So there's something like I forget the name of, like not axle, but there's I guess like a pin that prevents it from spinning. That's what broke inside.
Okay.
Yeah. But
gotcha.
From day one, my left leg always felt like my heel was on ice. Like I would say, it's weird. Sometimes I turn and I feel like my heel's on ice. Like I turn and it's like the heel's not like I'm not moving, but I'm just twisting. And never happened with my right leg. And today I went to my fridge to get me something to drink, and it happened again, the same thing. I feel like that nail had a little bit of slack in there. There was something because I never felt it with the right leg, never once. And like I saw myself in the video earlier, and I cringed when I saw myself turn on that table. How my nail broke, and I put weight on it, like on that video with the physio, and but maybe not as much because both legs are strong, and maybe I had weight on both legs as opposed to just the bottom one, right? But it's so I got a floppy leg. So now when people ask me how's my leg, I send them a song of Footloose,
Oh man, real. So so it's like right when you were laying on your stomach, it bent up, and then you kind of twisted over to like that, right?
See, you'll see. So I was like that on my stomach. I turned over, and it was to do the climb. You'll see. I don't know if it's a little bit further than that.
Not this one. It's a different one.
Yeah, a little bit further. Right there.
Okay, let me flip it. Right.
Yeah. So right there, as I go down, but I was on my stomach when I did this at home.
Okay.
See, you see it? See, the legs are bent.
Yeah.
You'll see. And then watch me roll over, and you'll see I put weight on that leg, and that's how.
Okay.
At home, I was like this, and I had to move my pelvis forward.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't fall off. And the bottom leg, the left leg, the one with the tattoo that you see, that's the one I put pressure on.
I see, left leg. I see. So you were. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it broke from the inside, like it torqued on the inside.
Did she look at the bone? Is the bone still like kind of intact? It's still fixated, obviously. Like the screws, everything's still intact.
Yeah, everything's good. Everything's good. Everything in there's good. Like the only thing I can't grow. It's like can't grow. So
that's the nail malfunctioned. Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
So it's
Gotcha.
but yeah, it's, so I'm glad I got this done near my house and not too far. And when you feel a good connection with a doctor, they're not going to leave you stranded. Let's just say they'll pull every stop sign to get you in there. So and it's like it's not that easy to pull that out because it's broken. So I think the sleeve might separate itself. I'm not too sure.
Maybe 2 parts or something like that. Yeah, she'll fish it out for sure using some sort of like device. They're good at that. But man, you definitely dodged a bullet there. We're glad that you're okay, and it wasn't worse than it was. I mean, it sucks to have devices that malfunction, but it's just an example that you said like the team is there behind you. They're there for support. I mean, you have the whole Limb Lengthening community here now, and it's just like a little hiccup, and you're gonna be back to growing in the next week.
Yeah, it's a matter of so it's a day surgery. They put me out. I told Dr. Marie, I said, just hit me with the head on the hammer, put me out for a couple of hours, fucking get it done. I was like, it really sucks. It's kind of like, it's more, the pain in the leg was nothing. It's more your feelings, like fuck, you feel like you failed, and you're like, man, this can't be, it can't be me. But I'll be back on there. Like this leg still has zero pain in it. Zero pain.
Wow.
Yeah, you can walk on it, no problem. It's just that I have to be so conscious because the other one, I have like sharp pains that hit me. So if I'm not ready and the other leg is all floppy, I'm gonna, might hurt myself. So I gotta be very careful. I still walk on my crutches. I work from home and I go out. I went out maybe twice. I went to Montreal. That's pretty much it. I'll just go out for my physio. Tomorrow I'm at physio, so I'll go to physio. So obviously I'm careful not to hurt myself. But
man, that's
Sorry about that. Real. She's awesome.
Slip and fall. I slipped and fell yesterday, and I was scared I was going to break something, but it was okay. So, but you know what? We got to be really careful in Canada.
Yeah, with the snow and everything. What'd you say, Bob?
Oh, and I was going to say, and Chicago, it's icy here too. But it's such a testimony to your doctor that she's going to do this for the price of a haircut. And, probably the anesthesiologist and the nurses, they've got to get paid. But, and then was it the precise 2.2 that stripped out?
Yeah.
They good testimony for them too. So it's all, she's a great doctor to go to then.
Oh, definitely. Like you cannot go wrong with this doctor
even though things went wrong, but it's all good. They're covering it. So good for them.
Yeah. She'll answer your phone at any time. Does not matter. The first time, I think we had a 1 week post-surgery appointment, right? And I didn't message her. I'm like, who am I to message a surgeon, to tell him I'm okay? So I'm like, so I get there. She's like, she's not too impressed. Like, Real, I asked you to message me. I said, but I was okay. I don't want to bother you. She's like, you're not bothering me. Tell me. I'd rather hear, you're okay or you're hurting, whatever it is, but just tell me. So now it's like, hello, Dr. Marie, I'm very conscientious of I got a message her and she's happy. She's like, it makes her day that, she sees her patients are telling her, everything's good. So I was not too happy with this message when I had to tell her that. She called me right away. She's like, Real, are you okay? Are you in pain? I said, yeah, my heart's broken.
I can't grow. I gotta wait. Oh man, I love it. No, that's what it's all about. Is having that's same thing with my surgeon. From she was very approachable. Just a simple text message way back then when there's no cell phones. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Very cool. Awesome. And I think most people here on the panel all had really good surgeons, and you could kind of get in contact if you had an issue. I think Brett, IHJ, HJ, you, Bob, Real, and JP. I mean, it's incredible. I think that's why you have to understand, for all you guys watching, that picking your surgeon, your clinic, that team is so important. Because if you go somewhere, they do the surgery and they kind of leave you on your own. Well, if something goes wrong, then just imagine if Real didn't have anybody to help him, take care of this. He'd have to go to a whole nother clinic, or if he'd have to go back, he'd have to pay for the complication fee and all that stuff. But they just kind of covered all that. That's incredible.
And that was my question when you took my phone call on I was on vacation, remember?
Yeah.
And I said, how it's going to be. I feel like I'm not going to have the support after my surgery.
Absolutely.
And your answer was,
yeah. Because I told you, I said that you need that support network. Because I feel that other clinic that we were talking about, they may not have. I'm not going to say anything, but I just know that she would have, and she did. So I'm happy about that.
So awesome. I was like, that's what we did.
Yeah, that's good, man. You'll be back to it. 10 days, you'll be back in lengthening.
Oh, yeah. I'm out on Wednesday, and I know I'm walking out of there on Wednesday. And
here he is. This guy's Wolverine. I love it. Yeah. Awesome. All right, guys. So what we want to do now, because I know it's already over the hour mark because I was late. And again, I apologize about it. I feel really bad about it. But anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to ask a few more questions real quick to each participant here on the panel. And then we're going to go to the live Q&A. But if any of you guys on the panel need to go after these last two questions, that's fine. I'll timestamp them, and then the other guys can take the questions. But and then IHG, I know you have
the images that
I'm going to do that now, actually. So we're going to talk about helpful tips because I had some submitted questions from a lady I want you guys to help answer They're very helpful resources that patients should get, and IHJ brought some with him. So let me do that. So IHJ, you're going to take this one. So if you want to start talking about helpful tools and resources limb lengthening patients can get before the process that could help them out, that'd be great.
Sure.
Okay, me? My turn?
No, IHJ, and then HJ, we're coming to you. Don't worry. We're gonna go to each participant. You guys can answer this, but if anybody needs to go, that's fine. But let me just pull this up real quick. So IHJ, you're on.
Can you pull the Thunderbolt pose?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull them up right now. Let me.
So while he's doing that, let me brief you all. So when I asked the doctor, what do you mean by full recovery? Obviously, you're doing the lengthening consolidation, then you started to walk, or you lift weights thereafter. So when does your full recovery happen? So we hear people saying like after 6 months or 1 year, after 1 year you should be able to fully recover. Your muscles start to loosen and all those stuffs. And some cases we do hear like saying like after 2 years you will be fully recovered. Actually, if you see the image, the Thunderbolt pose, this is what if you can show up that one,
which one is it?
the Thunderbolt pose.
Thunderbolt. Oh, you mean the massage gun?
No. Did you receive the other image where a woman sitting all
Just a
the?
sec. While you're talking about that, let me look into the email. I apologize. I was just doing this last minute.
No
Let's see.
problem. So it is a pose like I don't know, like it's difficult to describe for me, but when you see that image, you would understand.
Okay.
So that is the pose that shows you're fully recovered. That means you're able to fully bend your quads, you're fully able to stretch your knee extension, everything.
Mhm.
Your knees are good, your hip extension is good, your dorsiflexion is good, everything is good. So that's what I was told by the doctor.
Oh, here
And
it is. I
that's
found it. Got it. Okay, guys. So IHJ is saying that this pose, if you can do this pose, you're pretty much at full recovery. So let me stop sharing this one and pull up this image here. Just a sec. I just downloaded it. Here it is. All right. So who who told you that though? Hold on. Let me pull this up. Because
Dr.
I don't
Robbins?
even think I can do this, and I feel like I'm fully recovered.
Dr. Robbins.
Doctor, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna call him. So if you can do this yoga pose, you guys are fully healed and recovered.
Yeah, I was able to do before the surgery, but you know what? Now I am able to get up to. I'm almost like 20-degree up. I would say 20 or 30-degree. I'll be almost there, but it might take some time. I think like probably like by May, like 2 or 3 months, I should be able to get there. Because I asked this question like because I am planning to take TBS surgery. So I asked
you
him
are.
like when is the good time to take. Then he's mentioned like if you're able to achieve this, then you can do that. But he also mentioned like that's not going to stop me. Whatever I am, I am able to reach now with 20-degree, that should also be fine. But this is ultimate recovery pose. So
The
this is
ultimate
when
recovery
you
pose.
reach
Look at
here,
that. That's
like
crazy.
yeah, when you reach here, your muscles are totally. I mean, you're fully recovered. You don't have any tightness and all those things. Yep.
Okay, very cool. All right, I'll share the next one. So that was so that's the pose that shows your full recovery according to Dr. Robbins, which he's gonna have to hear from me on that one. So I'm just kidding. So this next one was the massage table. I think Rial has one. I know JP has one. Brett, did you ever get this as well?
I didn't put a massage table in my room. I just obviously used at physical therapy. They had the tables there. So,
Gotcha.
but what I did instead, not to get too detailed. So the bed where I was staying was very soft, and it was hard for me to stay flat on it. So I actually got like a wooden board and put a wooden board on one half of the bed. So then I could go over onto the wooden board, which stayed flat, and it was almost the same for me as a flat table. So I would do my stretches and things on the wooden board half of the bed, and on the other half of the bed, obviously I'd sleep where it was soft. So that was my hack to get through with that.
I love it. That's a little tip. Awesome. IHJ.
The reason we have this is like it's preferred. I mean, I've seen a lot of patients not using this. Some people just do with the bed, but the hotel is almost like very soft and it's not that firm. So it's good to have a firm base to do your physical therapy. But again, it's optional. It's better. It's good to have.
Okay, very cool. All right, so the next one, let me just pull that up here just a sec. Sorry about this. Here it is right here. I changed out the product because I'm an affiliate partner of this company. So you sent
Okay.
some random massage gun. I was like, no, you're gonna use mine. The Ekron B37, get it? Link below. Put Cyborg 20, get 20% off.
Sir, I
that,
wasn't aware of this.
Yeah,
Had
you
I
gotta
known
think
about
about
this.
that. Think of your boy. No, so yeah, definitely massage gun. Go ahead, IHJ.
Yeah, massage gun helps you. Let me tell you two things. Most people focus only on the physiotherapy. Of course, physiotherapy comes like a twin brother to your to your limb lengthening phase. I mean, lengthening phase. Obviously, you can't skip that. But not only that, two things you need to focus, and that helped me a lot. One is the hydrotherapy, the pool therapy, and another is massaging. So, how do you massage? Either with the massage gun or with your hands, oil massage or whatever it is. So that's the other image I sent, like the massage cream. Like
Yeah.
that's one of the product I use. Like it might be anything, but do these two things like that will really help you in your recovering process. The reason I'm insisting on the pool therapy is when you get into the pool, that's where you're actually placing your foot on the ground. So not only that, you're getting a lot of range of motion, because lengthening phase you're not doing anything, you're just sitting all the time. So just make sure if you go to the pool, I mean, you getting to the pool will help you place your foot on the ground. You're able to walk even in the lengthening phase, and you get the range of motion that would help your muscles, soft tissues, tendons, and everything. So that plays a major role, and I would strongly recommend that, because that helped me during my recovery process. That helped me in my total limb lengthening journey.
Yeah.
And also the massaging. Yes, massaging does help. Of course, when you do massaging, it gets deep into the muscles. It triggers the muscles because your muscles are already tight, and this helps a lot.
Yeah.
So focus on these two things that will really help you. Get into the success path, I would say.
I love it. I love it. This is actually what they used on me when they were doing A-stem at physical therapy for me. Pretty much, which it just helped to condition the skin, but also is just kind of very soothing. You can also use this on your scars to kind of help semi-fade the appearance.
These two things that will really help you recover in your recovery process.
So
Consolidation, lengthening, everything.
hydrotherapy
Well,
and
that's
massaging.
good that you mentioned the pool therapy, because that's one thing I seen people do, and I was always wondering, like, would it be helpful? And also, I was wondering if it was too dangerous to get in the water without slipping.
No. It's
But
it was too helpful. I
okay,
did
so
almost like,
you
if
would
not every
recommend
day,
it.
like once in 2 days.
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay.
Very cool. Awesome. All right, guys.
tried
So
that.
what we're going to do now is there were some submitted questions from a prospective patient. I think she's a mother thinking about it for her daughter. So there's about 4 questions here, but I'm going to get 2 of you guys. There's about 8 of us on this panel. So to answer each one and give your different perspectives of it. So first submitted question was, in fact, I don't think I can share this screen, but anyway, it says, how do you get dressed, undressed? Can I adapt my own clothing with Velcro to make dressing and using the toilet easier as a female, or will I be wearing gym shorts for the most part? So HJ, Height Journey, I know you were talking about this in one of your videos, talking about clothing and limb lengthening. So if you can talk about that.
Okay, I assume you're talking about internal nails, not external fixators.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Okay, but just a quick thing of the external fixators is, I know that if you have an external fixator, you have to cut the shorts on the side, so you can't roll it up yourself, and you have to put like Velcro tape or something like that. But anyway, that's the external fixator. But the internal nails, which most people use, like clothing, you just wear baggy pants. You're not gonna like see anyone anyway, so you don't really care about fashion or hygiene too much. Just reasonable. And like you just wear like baggy clothes, baggy pants, or like gym shorts or sweatpants that are like kind of little on the baggy side. Nothing tight, because you don't want it tight. Just loose and baggy.
Yeah.
Shorts or
yeah. Oh, did he freeze? There you are.
Sweatpants. Those are the best. It's easy. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Bob, did you what was getting dressed like slipping on?
Yeah, first time I reordered some baggy Levi's, those farmer ones. But the thing that really got me excited was I ordered 34-inch length. I was like, yeah. And then another thing I wanted to tell you was get one of these things, you know, off of Amazon. They're $17. I'm not kidding you.
Really?
I picked up a quarter off the ground. I'm not kidding you.
Are you serious?
I am not kidding you. Even though you
Dr.
saw
Rock-
I've got long arms, I was telling you about, you know, driving and stuff.
Yeah, very
But
cool.
yeah, it's tough to get off the toilet.
Okay, very cool. All right, so the next question here.
Yeah, one more thing about the toilet.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
About the toilet, like yeah, it's gonna be the same for because you're not gonna be like as a man, you're not gonna be sitting. So you just wear like loose underwear.
Is it getting a little choppy for you guys?
Underwear, you know, just kind of float
Yes,
down.
bad signal.
That's all it is to it.
A little bit. That's okay. All right. All right. So next question here is, what footwear is best post surgery? Will my feet be swollen? If so, for how long? JP, let's talk about this. So this question here, number 2, is saying, what footwear is best post surgery? Did you wear like sandals, or did you kind of wear just slippers, or what'd you wear?
Post surgery, they mean right after surgery or like a week or
maybe
two?
the first 2 weeks, like when your legs are still swollen and
First
inflamed.
week, I mean, yeah, when they're depends, because when they're very swollen,
Yeah.
it's not recommended to put too much of a sock on it because you don't want too much compression, like just a little bit, but you don't want too much. So if they're not too swollen, your feet, you can basically put, you know, your normal regular socks and shoes, you know, maybe slippers, not slippers, but I don't know how you call them, sandals, or you know, just for me, what I did, because I got the surgery in August, so the first week I was most of the time inside my house, you know, bare foot, you know, and then I started wearing my shoes. It was fine.
Okay, very cool. And Real, I know that in your videos early on, I saw you wearing like socks with some sandals, right? Like just the strap over, so it was very loose around your foot, right?
No. So I refuse to wear Crocs, and I wear. I got boots. I have my wool socks. I wear them year round. But, so it's funny you asked that, because today I almost made a video of it. I was like, man, this is fucking genius. So because my leg's broken, I'm very cautious when I bend over and stuff, and the other leg hurts. So I had to put my underwear on after the shower. So what I did is I stood in the middle of my underwear. I grabbed both of my crutches and stretched the underwear and brought them up with the 2 crutches right up. I'm going to make a video of this. I'm going to sell this. I'm going to patent it for sure. It was badass. I was like, man, it's so easy. I was like, I never thought of doing that before, right? But no, it's aside from that, I coming out of the hospital was my feet were actually swollen a little bit. You don't realize, it doesn't need much. And I had shoes, and it was a little snug, and you know your feet go numb. I had to drive an hour and a half back home. So the best thing was I have boots. It's winter here. I got boots. I can just throw my foot in, out. It's the best. That is by far the best. Pants wise, you'll see pictures of me in my pants. Like I like to wear my jeans. So I can look taller again. Like, you know, like not again, but I feel like the height. So, but I have bought a lot of. You know, I have my gym pants and stuff. So when you go to physio, you can just wear, you know, your workout shorts, and then throw a nice pair of, you know, I have gasp pants for the gym. So you throw those on top. When you get to the physio, you throw those down. It's easy, simple. But when both legs are good, it's very easy. I mean, I'm not too concerned about the dressing. Right now, my problem is putting on the sock, because when you're pulling on your leg and you're so cautious, it flips over to the side because now it's spinning. So, like, you know, I'm very cautious with pulling on my leg right now. As you know, and when I walk, my left leg hits me behind the other leg when I'm walking. So, because my boot just dropped on itself. It just wants to flop towards the inside. So, but no, it's just boots that you can slide in. If you're in the summer, flip flops, man, is gonna be the trick. Yeah, it's gonna be the trick, and you don't have to worry. You can still wear nice pants if you want. Like, that's what you're into, you know.
Yeah, it's all about like just making sure you're careful when you put them on and stuff. And like you said, just I think those gas sweatpants are perfect. Like things like that, just very loose and easy. You can just slide them up. Like Bob said, just very loose clothing. It helps.
Yeah,
Very
good
cool.
footwear is sock
Yeah.
shoes.
My feet
Like
didn't
I have
swell
on
up
my
at all.
website, sock shoes. It's like a slippers, but it's like a shoe, but it's like a sock, but it's a firm ground. You can get into Amazon, look up sock shoes. Also, if you look up my website, heightjourney.com, I have a link to the recommended equipment. And one of them is sock shoes. Those are pretty helpful. Just slide on, no tying laces. It fits perfectly, slides off easily. You can also do some light exercising as well.
Gotcha. Very cool. Awesome. Okay. Brett, we're going to go to you next one. I mean, you already kind of talked about number 3 here, which is basically, should I buy an inexpensive physio table to do stretching at the hotel room? Were they too flimsy? You kind of mentioned this earlier about putting like a cardboard, or was it cardboard or like wood? You said wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, you talked about that. So I'll kind of timestamp that. But Rial, I know that you and JP had massage tables, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you guys got those. Did you? Yeah,
I have the same that you saw in the video with my physio. They're like in Canada, Canadian Tire has them and stuff like that.
It's probably like the same one I use. Like it's very good for doing the stretches when you're on your when you're on your belly and you're standing like that and you're stretching. For your hamstrings and your
quads.
Your quads.
Yeah.
So this is really good.
Yeah.
I have a question I wanted to ask. I might forget, so I'm going to ask you right now, okay? And I want to know you guys' opinion on that. I want to know what happens when they take the nails off. Can you sell your nail?
I got one for sale on Wednesday, guys.
Right. Black market for like internal precise nails. Like we could look at all these people here. We could sell like that's 10 patients. You could sell $30,000 a pop. Even if you sell it for 10 grand less. I love it. Very cool. Awesome. All right. So last question, then we'll go into the live chat. But I know that we'll kind of cut it if anybody needs to go. Oh, look at that. Brett has a.
I wanted to say if you do tibias, this is a slant board.
Yeah. Let me stop sharing.
This is a lifesaver for tibias.
Yeah, look at that. That's perfect. Yeah, I actually got one of those. And did you start using that, Brett?
Say what?
You started using that already, right?
Oh, I did it while I was lengthening.
Oh, okay. While you were lengthening.
Yeah, I've been using
What
this.
is it used for, Brett?
What's that, IJ?
Yeah, what's it used for?
It's for the tibia. So when you do your tibia lengthening, if you go through with that, like what HJ said earlier about like the ballerina foot, it helps to keep your foot in dorsiflexion, and that night splint that he has.
So you'll be wearing this. So I didn't even have shoes. I just had to wear this when I did it. So I didn't worry about shoes. But you'll be wearing this to keep your tibia and foot able to bend up, and then on top of that, using the slant board just really helps you keep that strength so that you don't get drop foot while you're lengthening.
So you stand on that board to prevent
Yeah, when you stand on it, you'll feel your calves engage. It just really makes your calves stronger when you're standing on it. Yep. It's very hard to do when it's very hard.
Can you share the link?
Well, HJ actually has a video of HJ. You have one, right?
Yeah, about equipment. I have a website, heightjourney.com, or you can just Google up Height Journey. You'll find it. Heightjourney.com is really easy to remember. And it's a website, and I also have a page for recommended equipment, including a video and also equipment for both femur and tibia lengtheners. You can look at that as well.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of equipment. We're going to go too much time.
That's what I was going to say. For that last question,
you'll find it.
I'll send it to her. Very cool, guys. Well, I know this has already been an hour and a half, but there are a lot of people in the chat here with some questions. So let's go through that and let's take like a couple questions per person. But we'll kind of rotate through, make sure everybody gets an even spread since you guys are all still here. I really appreciate that. And I know everybody else watching does as well. So we're going to do that as well. But in the meanwhile, let's actually start right here. Let's get that. Here we are. Let's go.
I wanted to let Riodo know he did his surgery on my birthday in January. So
really? January 16th?
Oh, that's badass.
That's awesome.
That's a good day. That's a good day.
That's a
Happy
good
belated.
I remember that.
Mine was the first, but everybody did their birthday. It was like New Year's Day. It's like, all right. Here we go. First one is saying from Enrique. So I'm 41 years old, will be 42 by the time I actually get the surgery. I'm thinking about doing the precise with another clinic. I'm 5'7", trying to reach 5'10". Is 35K enough? Thoughts? So that's more of like a clinic specific question. But yeah, you'll have to kind of contact them and see their prices. So we're gonna keep moving on. Yeah, if you guys didn't check out the Canadian documentary with our superstar up here, JP, definitely be sure to check that out. So I plugged that in the chat. DJ Cyborg, you watched the documentary today. It was very, very good. Look at that, JP.
Thank you.
You're already getting
Man, thanks for watching it.
Yeah, it was great. All right, let's see here. Their hairstyle looks different. Okay, I'm just trying to find some questions. Let me just scan through real quick.
I did want to let you know at the pool where Dr. Paley down in Florida, obviously it's in the 80s and nice there, so you can use the pool a little more easily. They have what's called a lift. So you sit on a lift and it drops you down in the water. You were asking about slipping.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about it there. It just kind of, you sit on it and it drops you down in the water. And when you get out, same thing. It drops you back up. It's pretty
I
cool.
was wondering about that because I think Richard Teller, when he was down there, he was wondering about how to get in there, but I guess they have a lift to kind of let the people into the pool. Is that same thing for the hydrotherapy? Who did that? Was it IHJ?
Yes.
Did they have the same
what
thing?
Brett's saying is correct. Yes, they have a pool lift that
Very
helped
cool.
a lot.
Awesome. All right. So
And sometimes it would fail without the battery.
What's
So I
that?
had stuck 2 times. Then I had to call for help, and I had a
No.
tough time getting there.
Oh my God, that'd be a nightmare to just slip and fall into the pool. All right. So question here for HJ and Brett. Before you did surgery number 2, which is either femur or tibia, did you have to take another blood transfusion?
I never had to have a blood transfusion, but I do know other people who had to have one on their second surgery, but thankfully I didn't have to do that at all. So
You
never
didn't?
had any blood transfusions.
HJ?
Yeah, as for me, I didn't have to do any blood transfusions for either surgery. I did take a blood test, but I had a common blood type, so I didn't have to do any blood transfusion.
Okay. All right. So that's good to hear. Oh, somebody else wants to join. Kiefer, can I join? Oh, here we go. Sorry, Kiefer. I don't even know where the link is anymore.
I did want to say I did actually pass out though when they were putting the IV in my vein.
Really?
Of all things, that made me pass out, and then I was just the rest of the time. Which is weird because I've gotten my blood drawn many times and never had any problems, but I think the lady who was doing it was just poking around and it was hurting really bad and it just got to me. So, yeah.
All right, here we go. JM is asking, any issues with non-union? What are your docs doing to resolve this? Do you think the cause is the osteotomy technique? So, okay, so anybody with, I would say not non-union because none of you guys have that here, but like a delayed union, so slow bone healing. Let's talk to Brett and HJ because they both had their tibias done and that's a slower bone to heal. So, Brett?
No, if anything, my bone was, like I told you, I was actually doing 3 and 4 together. So my femurs were going 4 and my tibias 3 for a few weeks. So my bone was growing really well. I probably was on the opposite end of the spectrum where my bone was growing too fast versus not growing enough.
I think so because I seen your femur regenerates and they're almost as formed as mine, but you had your femur surgery after, so I think you're forming bone quickly, Brett.
But I also only did 4 centimeters in each. I didn't do more than that in my tibia, so that made me
less
stop.
length, so you could start healing a little bit
Yeah.
sooner. And then HJ, you had a little bit of a delayed union as well, right?
Yes, I kind of have a little delayed union on my left tibia. Okay. It's nothing too bad, but what I think happened was that the osteotomy, it does make a difference because my right tibia is doing much better because it wasn't a straight cut through like.
I think it's a little choppy.
You're breaking up a little.
Yeah, it's breaking up a little bit, HJ. See if you can X out and come back on. Sometimes that solidifies the signal. Yeah, it's a little
slant home after Baltimore. After when I returned home from Baltimore, like I wasn't eating too well, so like I kind of like it was like December or January, and it was like I was like kind of not eating as much as I should have been. So I think that was another reason why. But I've definitely eaten up a lot more. I'm like I used to be like 165, now I'm like 172, and
wow.
I've for February now I can walk better. I'm walking perfectly normal, fine. And I think it's pretty much gone. It's pretty much done. And I also had to shorten it a little bit, about 2 millimeters. But I think that was just I just had to eat more, and I was kind of slipping a little bit. I was a little tired and
yeah, that
throughout
happens.
the
Yeah,
winter. But I think it's a lot better.
Nutrition is
think-
super important.
Yeah, I think one thing they can do if you have a delayed union or non-union, they can do a compression with the nail, okay, and wait a bit so that the bone has more contact with itself, and then after a while they will lengthen again. But that compression could help. I mean,
Yeah, the accordion technique. Yes.
The accordion technique, exactly. Okay. Here's an interesting side question. Does anyone know what happened to the Limb Lengthening Forum? Just joined here. I've heard that it was actually down early this week. I checked and it had said like it tried to prompt me to log in or something like that. And I
It was down last Tuesday.
Last Tuesday,
I noticed it was down.
Yeah. What happened? Because I mean I don't get on there much. I get on there.
It might have been down Monday, but Tuesday.
What is it? You guys who are IT guys, what is it?
I don't know. I'm guessing, but I could be wrong. Please don't sue me if I'm wrong. But I think it's just the moderators. They've been there like forever, like since 2013. And after it's like 10 years later, I think they maybe wanted to take a break. So
really, you think so?
But that's the one I'm guessing.
That'd be scary. Okay, Brett, do you have
so
a
you're
thought
not
on
sure
that?
it's going to be back?
I don't know, but I guess they don't work for another 10 more years or something like that. But
cool
on the
All
forum,
right.
maybe that's what I'm guessing. But it could have been hacked or who I don't know.
Yeah, it could have been hacked. All right, let's skip through some of these. I love Bob. He's a comedian.
What did I do?
He is. He's a performer. If you guys don't know, you got to go Google Bob the Circus Boy Hunt. You'll see all kinds of cool shows that he put on. He used to perform for Ripley's Believe It or Not, and what was the circus?
Ringling Brothers,
Ringling
Vernon and Bailey
I'm sorry.
Circus.
Yeah,
I'm documented with Ripley's Believe It or Not for riding the world's smallest bike. And now, here I am talking to Victor.
doing his
My
biggest,
career
greatest
is
act.
on fire.
And he's 3 inches taller. Trying to beat that act.
I thought you're going in a different direction. Yeah, I am 3 inches taller.
I love it.
When are you getting yours done?
Yeah, everybody actually the guy on the console asked me that today. He said, when are you getting done? Well, I was like, well, first of all, I have to win the world title in natural bodybuilding fall of 2024. After I get that done, I don't know, maybe like a year after that.
Oh, you are? Cool.
I might, but here's the but. They have to have a new weight bearing nail. Now, I'm not saying this because I can't do it with the non-weight bearing nail, but I've already been through the process, and I was like, I want to try a new device. I want to make sure that it works. I want to show everybody that I can, recover fully. And if my biomechanics change a little bit, I'll be cool with that because I'm done bodybuilding. And yeah, I'll just have, be a big promo reel for the new nail, so they better sponsor me, give me equity in the company. So there you go. Okay, so let's see if there's any other questions for this panel here, guys. Anybody for these amazing limb lengthening patients? I'm just trying to go through. If you guys see any of the questions in the chat, you can tell me to kind of zone in on them.
I have a question to Brett or Hi Journey.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, ask each other questions.
So is reaching 5 centimeter in TBS a nightmare? Like, because I heard like when you reach towards 3 centimeter or 4 centimeter, you will develop ballerina foot. Is it true?
Well,
yes, it is, because I'm reaching.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, reaching it's harder for the tibias because it's first of all it's consolidates bone formation on the tibia is slower. And also the muscles and tendons, especially the Achilles tendons and around the ankles, they're very tight. So it's very hard. So like lengthening 5 centimeters on the tibias, it's like lengthening 8 centimeters on the femurs.
Okay. What about
in
your thoughts,
terms of
Brett?
like toughness and difficulty.
Yeah, I would say as long as you have
Excuse me.
as long as you have the shoes and the slant board, constantly making sure you're fighting against that drop foot, it won't happen. It didn't happen for me, and I did 4 centimeters. But I will say, as you get close to that 4 centimeter mark, I would not have wanted to try to go for 5. I'm glad I stopped at 4. It was definitely getting tougher for me once I got there. But my biggest problem was keeping my knees straight, which that was my biggest issue, doing both at the same time, tibias and femurs. So
Okay.
Okay, I don't even see any questions. I think they were literally talking amongst themselves. Here we go. Okay, this is actually a question from Jack Harper. How long after femur surgery can you drive a car? JP, you want to answer this one?
Yeah, it took me for the car. It took me 5 months and a half to 6 months before I can drive. But honestly, I tried before. I tried in the parking before just to see if it was working. You know, very slow, no cars around, no people, and it was working fine. It was just because of the insurance that I needed to wait more.
I see.
I would like to answer this one because
Yeah, absolutely.
I started pretty soon. During consolidation itself, I started driving. That is after 3 months, I would say.
3 months. Okay.
Though it was not fully consolidated, I could drive for shorter distance, not maybe like 10 minutes or 5 minutes.
Okay.
I was able
Brett,
to
you were going to the grocery store. Did you catch an Uber or did you drive yourself?
so when I did that, I actually drove myself. Yeah.
You drove yourself. Okay, cool. I mean, you're in consolidation like IHJ just said, so you're driving then. HJ, are you driving yourself now? Height Journey?
Yes, I can drive. Actually, I was driving after femur surgery. I think about 2 weeks after I was done lengthening.
Okay, cool. If anybody has any
You just
strategies.
have to. You just have to learn how to transfer yourself from a walker to a car. That's all, and vice versa.
We're going to do 3 or 4 more questions really quickly because I know it's been super long here and I want to let everybody go. So here we go. So who here had to buy new pants? So most of you guys have gotten about 8 centimeters or 3 inches. I know Bob, JP, Brett, you guys all got 3 inches. Height Journey, you've gotten about 4.5. Did you guys have to get new pants? Any of you?
All my pants.
All your pants? Yeah. That's awesome. Okay.
I have an interesting thing to share here.
Yeah.
Even before the surgery, I used to buy pants pretty long, which is 2 inches more than my actual height. So now it fits me well. So I didn't have even thought about it to buy new pants. No. So
you bought it
maybe
before
that's why I don't feel the difference.
No.
Oh, I barely made it into the men's pants when I used to buy pants, my entire life. That 30-inch inseam. So I was barely a man.
Barely a man. Well, now you're a giant, man. That's crazy. Let's see. AJ,
Actually, with the old some. Yeah, I had to buy some new pants, but I can wear some of my old pants. Just wear long socks that goes up to like almost up to your knees. That's all.
Yeah.
So that their ankles aren't.
So one pair of my pants are definitely like capris now, so I can't wear those. But one of the pair that was longer now, what I actually do is I wear them loose and low with a belt, so they're actually long enough to get by. I haven't bought any new pants. I need to. I was kind of hoping I could like make it into spring and just wear shorts and not have to worry about it for a little bit. But yeah, I've got to do some shopping. All my pants are way too short right now. Wow. And I haven't done that, so which I can't start walking until Saturday when I get the clear anyway. So.
Man, this is exciting for Brett. I mean, he's 3 days away from being able to walk without any assistance. I mean, he's got to be super excited. I'm sure you've taken a few steps, though, haven't you?
Yeah, I have been cheating.
Yeah, because I know I was too before. I was
but very carefully.
Right. All right, so let's do this one. Was the workout after the procedure hard for you guys? So let's do Bob, HJ, and then JP because you guys are kind of done.
And the question is what again? Is working out?
Yeah, working out. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the therapy is tough and painful, and I've stopped doing upper body because I look at you and I go, "What's the use?"
I love it. You just want to see these guns again. I know that.
You're so annoying.
You're too funny. What can I say? I gotta have something.
All right, move along.
All right, JP was working out after surgery. You're starting to get back in the gym now, right?
I didn't go back to the gym yet,
Not yet, okay.
because I told myself I want to walk completely normal before I go there, because a lot of people are going to see me and going to be like, hey, you're the guy I saw, and I don't want to walk weird by the time I go back in public too much. So my workouts right now is just I go around the mall and I walk until I walk normally. That's what I'm going to be doing.
Go back to the gym. HJ, you I think you posted some videos of you in the gym. Was it harder to work out after limb lengthening?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. He was asking. I'm not sure if he was asking about physical therapy or working out at the gym by myself. But if he means physical therapy, most of it was stretching after the surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was like 70% stretching actually, but and then others they had machines. But after when I was better consolidated and I can get around with a walker more easily, like after I was done lengthening, a few weeks after done, I would go to the gym. It was the hardest part actually was just going around with the crutches. That was part of the, but the working out, you just do lighter weights, and if you don't want some people staring at you, but it was not. It was just getting around the gym that was harder.
Yeah, no, definitely. You want to kind of have that confident feeling. Nobody's watching you. IHJ, what about you? You're consolidated. You going back to the gym?
Yes, I already started. I think I started after 6 months of my surgery date. And initially it was, though doctor gave a sign off to lift weights, initially it was difficult. I was able to do all the upper body exercises or workouts, but when coming to the lower body, I had a little challenging ones. Like I was not able to squat completely, like parallel to the floor. So that was pretty challenging, but I'm able to do the body weight workouts very well.
Body weight, yeah. And I think once you get to the 8-9 month mark, you guys would just be pawing on the way. It really does start to exponentially get better. All right, so last question here, and then we'll just do an outro. So from Hunter, he's asking, how have family and friends reacted to your surgeries? Were they supportive or discouraging? So let's start from the top left, HJ, and then we'll go all the way down to IHJ. Or Hike Journey.
Yeah, they were mostly supportive. I didn't really tell a lot of people, so. But it was they were fine with it. This is my family. Before I met them, I called them each member. Before I met them in person, I called each member in person, telling them I just went through the surgery, so that when they see me, they won't be surprised or shocked, and just get that out of the way. And then
very cool, awesome.
And then after that, it was fine because when they think of lengthening surgery, they think something bad is going to happen to you, but that's the way they get defensive, I guess, or skeptical. But it should be no problem.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. JP, what about you?
Well, I didn't tell anyone before surgery except for one of my friends. So my family is basically it's my mother, and so she knew she brought me to the OR. She brought me to the room, but she didn't know about it. And when she came to pick me up 3 days after, that's the way it worked. Because I didn't want to stress her out. I didn't want to stress her out before. She told me, "I'm glad you didn't tell me before." When she saw the documentary and she saw Mary busting my bone, she's like, I'm happy you didn't tell me before."
Oh wow, that's crazy. That's one way to do it. I call that the Rich Rotella because he sent an email out the day after his surgery to all his family and friends. Is like, yeah, I got this done. Have fun trying to stop me now. That's bad. Brett, what about you?
Yeah, so a lot of my friends, family, coworkers know about my surgery, and they've been very supportive. There's of course the jokes like. Some of my friends say, "Well, you could have just bought a boat, or something." But yeah, overall, my family has been supportive. My mom obviously was there with me during the surgery, And yeah, I'm excited because when I had the surgery, it was around Thanksgiving, Christmas time. I did go home for Thanksgiving, but I was in a wheelchair, right? So my family members kind of had to help me when I went to my aunt's house, get wheelchaired into the house and things like that. So I'm excited to actually be walking next time I see them and do all those things and see how that goes. But yeah, they were all very supportive. Mostly everybody has a lot of questions. They're all they ask a lot of questions. They want to know how does this work? How, they break your bone, like what, just very, very curious about everything, and answering a lot of questions has been a lot of what's going on. So, yep.
Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, it's good to have a support network. Rial, well, we already started to see his wife was with him. Your kids know because they were in the chat before. I think most of your employees know too. Like, talk about that.
Yeah, the whole team knows. I mean, I'm around all the time, and to be honest, people are very supportive of that because obviously they know it's extreme. And they respect the whole surgery itself. I think like if a guy can go through that, you earn a lot of respect. Like I said before, somebody that's like 6 foot tall, he was born and just all he did was sleep and eat potatoes, and then us coming in at 5'4" and end up at those heights, that's earned. Like you freaking worked your ass off to pay it, and you worked your ass off to get it healed and everything else. So it's a lot of surgery and the the stretching and all that. But yeah, family's all really been good. My father's the only one that said, when I told him, I said, Dad, booked for January 16th. He says, shit, I thought you forgot about that. I was like, no, Dad, I didn't forget about the surgery because I had told him a couple of weeks before, right? I said, no, I didn't like, you thought I'd sleep on it, and it was just another crazy idea I had, right? I said, no, it's true. It's getting done. And like, he was really stressed for, it's the unknown for everybody. It's the unknown that's scary. So now, to be honest, I know a lot of it now, especially with a broken knee or leg, I should say. But even today, I was doing my stretches. I'm like, man, the body's amazing. How can I have a broken nail in there and I can still stretch this leg? It still moves. It's unbelievable. Like it's very. Anyways, yeah, people are very supportive around me. I'm lucky, and I'm not one to bother people. I still take out my garbage. Like I don't bother people. Like I'm one to. And now, like obviously, the walking is not an issue with these nails. You can walk, right? It's obviously it's a side, like a rotation of it that's very, very weak. But you can stand, you can walk with your crutches, you can hustle, But no, that's it for
awesome.
me. Like, yeah,
no, that's so cool. It's amazing to see that. I mean, I think that a lot of patients they're fearing the backlash that they're going to get from their network. But let's continue on here. So Bob, who knows about your story?
All right. So when I went in there, I told one guy. And then when I come home and you're, a walker, a wheelchair, or crutches, people are going, what's going on? And then it's funny. Half the people are angry. I don't know if anybody got that response.
Yeah, I got that from the comments on, that documentary. They posted it.
Yeah.
Everywhere on social media. The reaction from the people I knew was good, but everyone was exactly what you just said. It seems like they were angry about it. Like,
really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Keep going.
Yeah.
The taller, the angrier they are.
Maybe a little jealousy. I don't know.
What is wrong with you? You don't need that. And they're 6'3".
Yeah.
Except my buddy.
And my height, I was average height, and everyone says you should have spent that money on a psychiatrist instead.
Oh.
Maybe they're right. I don't know.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, what I was about to write and answer that, but it's not worth answering every people. But what they don't understand is like most of the time they're gonna write stuff like that, but they don't know we've already tried that sometimes,
Yeah.
If we got the limb lengthening, for me, it's because nothing else worked, So
I love that. I love that. I think go ahead, Rial. Sorry.
No, that's very true.
It's so true.
And the reason he went there and I went there is, I would say, it's because of those assholes right there. Yeah. It's like that's it. Like it's that guy that would grab by the throat and pull him out of his car. Like those are the people. So I agree with GP 100%. Like
I love it. I love it. Very cool. IHJ, did you have a support network during this process as well?
No, not at all.
No?
To be honest, I am pretty straightforward in this regard. I don't want to lie. Since I was brought up, like since my childhood, I've been like put down continuously. I'm shorter, shorter. So, what would be the reaction after the surgery? Obviously, like as Bob pointed out, people are angry. They're jealous. So there are people on both sides, positive or negative, but I didn't want to take a chance. I didn't let anyone know about this, and I'm happy with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Let them find out. If they find out, if okay, how come you become so taller? Let me lie them. I don't have any other choice other than that. I don't want to take risk.
Okay. Well, you can make up like an excuse if you want to at
Yep.
that point, but no, that's very cool. But I'm sure that if you told somebody, do you think that they would be supportive, like a close friend?
Yes, they would
Okay.
be, but obviously, as I told, these are the things like, especially with the community where I'm living, so people are like that. I'm not blaming everyone, but most of them are like that.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Gotcha.
I had a girl go, "Why did you do that?" I go, "Well, I'm more attractive, aren't I?" She goes, "Well, yeah."
Really? That's crazy. She actually said it outright.
Yeah, she was mad, and then she goes, "Well, yeah, you look better," but
Interesting. That's a really that I think that's that like that's that what do you call it? Really hard. The pickle pretty much you're in that you if you're short they're gonna kind of ridicule, and then if you're getting taller they're like, why'd you get it done? But they're like, oh, you
Yes,
look better. It's
exactly.
crazy.
Both ways, they are. I mean, you would
Yeah.
see opposite negative reaction.
Man, that's incredible. Well, guys, that was a huge, amazing roundtable discussion. I really appreciate you guys for coming on, and let's give it up for the panel of cosmetic limb lengthening patients. Links, your YouTube channel, your website. I know I'll post those below. JP, I know that you have your Instagram. If you want to, I'll post that below. Brett, do you
All
have
right.
like a dummy email account if anybody wants to reach out to you?
The one I sent you is fine.
Oh, is that okay?
Yeah, I did want to say someone had questioned if I was only doing 8 centimeters, why didn't I just do femurs? But I think I answered this last time I was on.
Yeah. See it.
That I'm kind of doing a test run. If everything feels good, I'm hoping maybe in a year and a half or two, I'm going to go do 4 and 4 again. So with the nails already in, the surgery is just reusing the same nails. So
Just like what Bob did here.
Yeah, it's
A lot cheaper.
kind of
easier.
my thoughts. So I wanted to give myself a year or two to recover and see how it all feels though before I go do it again. So
exactly what I'm thinking. Exactly.
That's same thing with Real. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
That's very cool. And then sell them all. We'll sell them all.
Yeah.
Make a lot of money.
Sell. I have 4 of them to sell after.
Or keep it as a souvenir, like a Real shop, like
Yeah. I'll make it forks on my Harley with it.
Exactly. I love it. Awesome. Well, yeah, no, guys, I think this is huge. This is really good. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, Real, do you have any I guess email or like social media that people can reach out to you? You want me to post it below?
Yeah. I'll send you my email. I can.
Okay.
Yeah. The only thing I have is the email, so you can shoot me an email.
Okay, like you can make it a dummy email if you don't want it for your business or whatever. Bob, anything from you?
Yeah, circusboy.com.
Circus Boy, that's right. I'll put that below so you guys can
Sure.
check out a lot of his accolades and accomplishments over the years. And then IHJ, any like dummy email that you want to kind of put out there, or just keep it?
Yep,
DL?
I'll share my dummy email. Yep,
What's that?
I will share my dummy email.
You'll share it to me? Okay, cool. So, guys, you just heard it there that all of these amazing limb lengthening patients are going to give you access to them. If you want to reach out to them, give them support, ask them questions. Don't bombard them with like stupid, time-wasting questions, but be considerate of their time. And yeah, we'll definitely have them back on, and hopefully with more of the stature lengthening patients that I invited, but they couldn't make it today. So I appreciate every single one of you for coming out. I appreciate all of you guys watching in the chat. And until next time, this is Victor from Cyborg for Life, signing out. See you guys next time. Bye.
Thank you.
Peace out.
Thanks, Victor. Thanks for bringing it.